as bochur, I became involved in the Tzach work. So we needed somebody to, so the Chodakov called me up one day and said to me, you asked the Rebbe for us. So he told me, Chodakov was talking like triangle, like an elderly person. When I went into the Rebbe with my wife to Chosen Kale before the Chasana, I wrote to the Rebbe, we are ready to go for Shlichus. So the Rebbe answered to Mamshik and the Shlichus in Montreal.
Welcome to Homesick for Lubavitch, a podcast where we explore Lubavitch identity in the year 2026. My name is Bosi Lgani, and I will be your host. Let's begin. Alrighty, we are here in Montreal with a very special guest, Rabbi Berel Mochkin, who I've been told I have a connection to from both sides of my family. I know.
More like Shem Tov.
What's that?
Face, you have more a Shem Tov face.
My face is a Shem Tov, but my connection to you said it's from both sides. My Zayda. Go ahead, please.
You say the what? Avraham?
Yeah.
Zayda Avraham is more a chavrusa.
It was your chavrusa. Can you speak?
After is a mishpacha.
Can we speak in English for the sake of the audience?
Any way you want.
Yeah.
Approach better.
Yeah. As mentioned, soll nicht meinen, als verstehen. No, I could understand the Yiddish mostly, but a lot of people listening can't. So we'll speak in English if that's okay with you. And if we need to translate, it's also fine. You said my Zayda Avram was a friend with you since a child.
Yeah, my son around 7, 8 years, 6 or 5, 6 a year old.
This is going back to Samarkand.
In Tashkent.
Tashkent, and then in Brunois. Or no?
Then he wasn't in Brunois. I could be, I don't remember even if he was in Brunois. In Paris we were together again. But Brunois, I don't remember. I believe I think he went straight to London, to England. Somehow, I don't think we were in Brunois together.
In Paris you were together?
In Paris we were together.
But there was a shtickle cheder in Paris for a while, right? There was a cheder in Paris for a little bit, no?
A cheder, the yeshiva was a big yeshiva. And was a
right. Oh, so that the yeshiva was in Paris first, before.
When we talk Paris, doesn't mean Paris, the city. The yeshiva is in Brunois. Brunois, everybody knows Brunois, no?
Right.
There was a cheder generally, Anash didn't live really in Paris. All these Anash that came from Russia, they were placed in special places that the joint gave where to live.
Right.
So it's not in Paris direct. There was one hotel called Modern. He was in Paris, but the other ones were around the city, around the main city of Paris.
Right. No, because he always told me stories about.
It's called Paris.
It's Paris. It's not Brunois.
Everything goes under Paris.
Paris. Yeah. So he told me he was in a cheder class with Zalman Kleinman and a few other people. He was in school there for a couple of years.
Yeah, we were together. Yeah, Zalman Kleinman was there too. I don't remember. Could be.
So that was Paris. That was in Paris.
So Zalman Kleinman is in Paris, yeah, in Brunois.
Brunois. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you said we're also related from the Afton side. You said you're related to my Baba Chiena.
Yeah.
The Mochkins are related to the Karasiks?
I don't know. The family name of Baba Chiena, that was, Chiena is my Baba. It is, in other words, my father's mother was Chiena.
So she was cousins with my Baba Chiena?
Also muss man sagen.
Well, Chiena was a rare name? Chiena was a rare name in Russia, was not a common name?
It's not a common name because you don't see too many. What you do see is from these couple of families which came out after, generations after.
Yeah. Do you remember the days back in Tashkent?
Something. I was 6, 7 years old, 5, 6, 7.
So what do you remember from there? What general atmosphere do you remember?
Atmosphere, a kid. What does it mean, atmosphere?
Whatever you remember. Any zechrenos that you have from there?
Obviously, there is. I don't know what so much to describe. By whom we learned. We had several chadorim, starting from Mivra and till in Gemara.
Did you feel that the chassidim were was it a feeling of fear? Was it a feeling of people were chavershaft?
Definite a time. Fear is no question, yeah?
Yeah.
In Russia. But in the time of the war, especially where we were in Uzbekistan, so to say, where Tashkent and Samarkand was, that was more the Uzbeking, the Sephardic, so to say.
Right.
So in any case, because of the milchome, because of the war, so they didn't touch so much. They didn't pay attention to the religious people, about the religion.
Right.
But we was always very quiet, but soon this war ended, it's already right away started to be felt, the anti-Semitism, so to say. I remember when we were in Cheder, and there was a yard, a big yard, and there was a room where we would sit and learn. And some strangers came in the yard, so we all jumped out through the window to the other side and ran away. And this happened twice, something like that. For example, that's just to describe the difference between in the time of the war and right after the war.
Right. During the war, they didn't bother you like that.
They didn't bother me. I was a kid, but in general, there is two things. We were outside of Russia, in other words, in Uzbekistan. It was more. And then again, because of the war. And the same was in Samarkand. Soon after the war, they started to search for anash, for chassidim.
Were the chassidim in the time of that, during the war, was there Fabrengens there? Was it a environment site, or people were much more nervous?
Yes, there were both things are true. I mean, there wasn't big Fabrengens or demonstrations, but we learned, davened in private Fabrengen, Fabrengen. I remember Yutas Kislev, Fabrengen, and so on.
What do you remember from Yutas Kislev?
I was a kid. I remember I went back home 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
With another bochur that took me. I was a kid.
And your fathers were sitting at Fabrengi?
My father got the whole big chassidim.
No, I'm saying your father and the other fathers were sitting in Fabrengi.
Yeah.
Right. Do you remember something like Simchas Torah do you?
I suppose, yeah.
What do you remember from Simchas Torah?
Nothing special, but I do remember.
No, I'm not trying to test your zikaron.
Yeah,
I'm trying to ask if in this time there was a freilichkeit, even though it was a very difficult time, or it was more subdued.
I would say it in the other way around. Even in the worst time, anash were freilich. But this is something else. That's more.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think Anasha Freilich Yidden, even in the worst times?
Mit verbracht und mit gegangen Daumen, mit das Leben gekriegt, mit Gerät.
Anasha Freilich Yidden, you're saying?
I suppose so.
Right. Do you remember? Even though some people were taken away, and there was,
that was the fear was there anyway.
And there was still a Freilichkeit.
To be hiding. It's not that I remember dancing, but I mean, I don't know how to describe it, so to say.
They would make a joke about it. They would like laugh about.
Nobody made a joke in that time about it.
Right.
About the situation.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe so. But I remember my time basically was the time of the war.
Right.
Where after the war, about a year after the war, so to say, before we left.
Right. And what was it like to leave? Do you remember what it was like to leave and to be in a new country?
A new country?
You went to France, right? You went to Poland first.
We went first, basically we were in Poking.
Poking in Germany, right?
Germany for a year. But traveled from Poland and Austria and German till we came to Poking.
Right.
And what else?
But do you remember the feeling of this new chapter in?
You have to understand I was a young Ingo.
Right. I'm not testing you.
No, it's not a question of testing. I'm trying to explain you the situation.
Right.
But between we were kids, we were going around to the cheder, from the cheder. I mean,
no, but
nevertheless, at night, when I left cheder to go home, there was a certain time that I had to travel with it's called the tramway, like the buses. So when I stepped out from the bus to go, I used to try to go next to an individual so that it shouldn't look that I'm going by myself, that nobody should come over to me, so to say, because if they see me next to a big person, so they see that I belong to.
Right.
I have a father, a brother who's going with me.
This is in Germany.
No, this is in Russia.
Oh, still in Tashkent.
In Tashkent, yeah. I'm just describing you. We were going to Cheder and coming from Cheder and everything, but nevertheless,
there's a fear.
Obviously.
Right, even as a child. So that's what. Yeah. So that's what I mean.
But again, it's very hard to differentiate. As a child, I would be afraid even in the best situation.
Right.
To go alone at night.
Right.
It's not exactly describing the situation, but the fact is the fact.
But when you went to Germany, were you less scared? Germany and France?
Of course. In Germany, we didn't travel. Okay, I don't know if you have the description how we lived in Germany, in Poking. So there was a group of bungalows, so to say, wooden bungalows. That was supposedly the army was there before the Deutsche Army. And the yeshiva was between. So we were walking, the whole area was not a big one. In that area where we were, it was like Yerushalayim. There wasn't anything to affect the spirit.
Sitting here in front of the backdrop where we first recorded the intro to the podcast, it's hard to believe we are fast approaching the milestone of 100 episodes recorded and published for the Homesick for Lubavitch podcast. Looking back at the past 3 years, the journey has been far more than I imagined when I started. I've met so many interesting people. I've spent so many hours discussing their ideas and their perspectives. Their ideas have changed me, have changed how I think, have changed how I live. have changed how I feel, have changed how I interact with others. And I know that many of you that listen regularly, who have reached out to me and shared what it means to you, feel the same. This podcast, which started here in the studio as a small idea, has turned into something that thousands of people look forward to each week. It brings ideas to the table. It brings perspectives to the table that are then shared and multiplied in conversations between thousands of people around the world, whether it's in shul, at a Shabbos table, on a WhatsApp chat. It has opened and encouraged conversations that have been closed and shut off for too long, and has shown that those conversations can be had in a respectful and patient and productive way. As I look to what comes after the 100 episodes, my feeling is that what comes next has to be more intentional, has to be bigger, has to be bolder. There are a number of projects that we have in the works that will take the podcast to a new level, will open up new kinds of content that are aligned with the vision of the original podcast. In the next few weeks, we'll be launching the 100 for 100 campaign, which will raise $100,000 to make those initiatives possible. Thanks to a few generous friends of the podcast, we're already 20% of the way there. I look forward to sharing with you updates about the campaign, as well as the initiatives that will follow. The impact and reach of Homesick for Lubavitch is just beginning. Mazel tov. And what was France like?
Again, what do I have to do? I was other at home, other in yeshiva.
So it wasn't...
I didn't have nothing to do with Paris, with France.
Right. When did you start? So Benoit was the first yeshiva, or you went straight to Eretz Yisrael, 770? What?
No. From Benoit we came here.
Right.
And here I was already...
Oh, you came with your father, Reb Peretz, to Montreal.
Yeah. So I was already about 15 years old.
You were a bochur already.
In those days, it wasn't called a bochur, a 15 years old boy.
What was it called?
Now it's bochur. A yingul. Yeah.
And
then from France we came here.
Right. You want to describe a little bit your father, Reb Peretz, for those who didn't meet him?
What shall I describe? There is a sefer that is printed.
Yeah, but any shmiyah.
More or less, whatever it was possible to express, to write, it was written there, better than my observation, because it was written by Heshke Dubravsky, which he was...
Yeah, but tell me a memory of your father that stands out to you. Do you have one?
What shall I tell you? I don't especially know what to pick, so to say.
Saw something he did at home after Krish Mashalamita, or a story that he told you?
Krish Mashalamita, there is a case of Krish Mashalamita that is described in the Sefer.
But tell me, you could
I don't remember specific details.
How was Montreal for you back in those days?
What shall it be back? I came here in the yeshiva. The Rebbe made sure that all bochurim that came from France here, we shouldn't go to New York. We should stay here, and the Rebbe kept the yeshiva here.
Why?
Because the Rebbe wanted to have a yeshiva here.
So you wanted to go to New York? You wanted to go to New York?
Everybody wanted to go to the Rebbe, to New York, to be around the Rebbe.
Right.
But the Rebbe didn't let. The Rebbe made established, so to say, that we should stay here.
Right. And it was a Chassidische Stadt here.
Again, but there was Chassidim before, Talmidim from Montreal.
Right.
Came here.
Right.
In Topshin Beis.
Right.
10 years before we came.
Right, from Shanghai. Not from Shanghai, from Japan.
From Japan, from Montreal.
Right.
Then there was two groups actually. Then those that came from Montreal, and they passed Shanghai, like you say, but just for a couple of months. And some they were there for a couple of years, and then the Tashkent, after the war, they came here. This is so.
Your father had never met these people before, right?
Before, no.
Because he was in Russia. They were in Poland.
Yeah.
How did they get along when they met?
What does it mean to get along?
No, is it coming from different backgrounds?
First of all, my father was older than all this group.
Right.
He's from Lubavitch, and they were from Montreal years later. The father was a respected chassid, so to say. Anyway.
Right.
He soon became the mashpia here. Mashpia from Manash, not from Yeshiva. From Manash.
Yeshiva, who is a mashpia?
Rav Gringlas.
Rav Gringlas.
He was there before.
Right.
And when we came, the yeshiva was already in. So he was already the mashpia.
Right. So, was it different to see your father interact with the Chassidim from different Poland? Was it?
I don't know which way to describe it. I mean, those from Poland. I mean, you have to understand that when we came here, I mean, they were 10 years here already in America, so that wasn't like bochur from yeshiva. So it's not in the atmosphere of yeshiva, not the Polish atmosphere and not the American atmosphere. It was.
Did your father have a hard time adjusting to Canada?
To Canada or to Anash?
To both.
To Canada, he did not need to adjust. What did he have to adjust?
You're saying he wasn't misyaches to it.
What's the pshat?
It's a new country.
He didn't make business.
Right. He was doing the same thing like he was doing before.
Well, maybe you can't say that way. I don't know.
And Anash, how did he adjust to Anash in Canada?
Different people. Some were working, some were cliquated, some were. The mentality maybe, but the Polish different from the Russian. But it became a kehillah, and we grew and grew and grew. Now is a couple of hundred mishpachos.
Right.
It started when they came in Tashkent base. They were now in bochurim.
Right.
And it grew. The Rebbe hold them here again. They didn't let them to go to New York. The Rebbe made the yeshiva. Soon they came. The same day, Friday, they came and they announced that they're opening a yeshiva.
This is still the Frierdiker Rebbe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to Rabbi Tzach in Avish.
Yeah.
And he said he came. He said the first night that he came to Montreal, he stayed in your house.
Possible.
He came with Volovik, I think.
Yeah, possible. He didn't come. He came with Volovik, or he was staying with Volovik.
No, he came with Volovik on the train.
Could be.
And he said
I don't remember.
Volovik gave him his bed. And he said next to him.
That was Yitzchak Chazer's always. I don't know.
Yeah, so he told me.
Yeah, I don't know.
He said you were in the room next door. He said you had a very big room.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. He said you had a very small room. So it was a small kehillah back then. It was a small kehillah back then.
Obviously, yeah.
When did you go to 770?
When we came here, United States, America, didn't trust people to come in. They were afraid they will stay there.
Right.
So we needed a visa, and it was very hard. The first one that went when we came was my brother, Rabbi Mochkin. I repeating it always. How did he get to come? We came in the Elul, Topshin Yud Beis, and he went for Simchas Torah or for Sukkot, I don't remember, to New York. How? Because his wife was pregnant.
He was married already.
Yeah, he married in Paris. So he went with her to the consul. The consul realized that he will not go there and stay there because she is staying here. So he gave him a visa. But other people didn't get so easy a visa. My father got a visa only for Yud Shvat.
Of the next year, Yud Gimel.
Topshin Yud Gimel. I'm talking about.
Right.
My brother went
Tishrei
Topshin Yud Gimel. My father went Topshin Yud Shvat, and I went for Purim.
Oh, Yud Gimel.
Yeah. And then they opened up the border. They didn't have no problems to go from Canada to the U.S.
What do you remember from Purim Yud Gimel?
Hurrah.
Right. You remember that?
Yeah.
So just for the people who are listening, can you tell the story for the people listening with the mimer?
A story. The Rebbe, at the end of the Farbrengen, there was a regular Farbrengen, supposedly.
Of Purim.
As a matter of fact, I remember that there was chalalach on the table. It was interesting.
This was in 770 or in the hall?
770. The first time they Farbrengt it's called in the shalash.
The shalash. The courtyard. The courtyard.
The yard.
The yard, yeah.
The parking lot.
They put a tarp on the top, right?
And they put a tarp on the top.
Yeah.
And I remember, I hope that my mind, my memory doesn't fool me. I remember that was chalalach on the table.
Chalas.
Small chalas on the tables.
Right.
Supposedly that to wash Purim.
Right.
I don't remember any time something like that with the Rebbe. But this is one thing. Then that's the first time it made the shalash, like I say. I didn't have what to do. I didn't have nobody there, no family, no nothing. So I was, somehow I was standing in the shalash, and suddenly the Rebbe came down, looked around, and there was a younger man, and then a bochur. So he tells the Rebbe that the switches for the light is only one switch. If it will be closed, so the whole thing will get dark. I looked on him like I'm a sugar, what there is to do at my cup. The switch, the Rebbe told me it was nicht verlesen, I don't remember, but just something that was left in my mind, crazy. He was like already from a while ago in 770, so he was feeling close with the Rebbe, so to say. And not important who was he. So by the Farbrengen, at the end of the Farbrengen, suddenly the Rebbe said a mimer, a second mimer, and then the Rebbe said a Tzach, and started, I don't remember exactly the ariches because I was then 16 years old. In those days, 16 years old. Now they're big people, 16-year boys. Yeah. But in those days, when you felt like a kleiner Ingo. I mean, I was...
Saying the dais were smaller. You had today do a big dais at 16 years old.
Today, 16 is big man, big people. Right. But then, that's the way it is now. So, but anyways, I was there, and I saw something, and the Rebbe started to speak a Sikha and said, show that story, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah.
The story of the Alter Rebbe, right?
No. Story that in Russia, when they had to make booths, elect somebody in a village, in a shtetl.
Right.
So they had to go, everybody had to go.
Right.
So then when the Chotzi, that he also went. So I said, hooray.
Hooray, yeah.
So he said, hoorah, hoorah, hoorah.
Right.
That's the way the Rebbe told the story, hoorah. So we understood, not me, I mean the elderly people understood that something is going on. And the Rebbe should tell such a story, such a teichen. And then afterwards I found out about Stalin.
Right. The Rebbe said an extra mimer, is that Fabringen, right?
Said, yeah.
So he had already said the main mimer, and then...
There was a mimer, and then there was Shlichus.
And then another mimer.
The shop from the Fabringen, there was another mimer. Again, this was a chidush, but then the story is...
Hoorah. And later he found out that Stalin passed away.
Yeah. The Rebbe put him down. In other words, not he passed away. It was in the middle of a meeting.
Right.
There in Russia.
He had a heart attack or something, right?
How did that? He proposed something that was to take the Yidden and send them all away in Berebijan.
Yeah, the doctor's plot, the whole...
Doctors, he then wanted all the Yidden.
Yeah, he was about to take the Yidden out.
And I think Beria was his brother-in-law, and anyway, they opposed him.
And Beria was a Yid, no? No, Mendel was.
Episode is up when Beria is either could be she was the sister of Stalin, and Beria could be, I don't know.
He was the head of the KGB.
Yeah. So they are, as far as I remember, I could be wrong too, but so he opposed him. So he got certainly had a heart attack.
Mamish. How did the news of Stalin?
For a couple of days it was closed. They didn't know, but they didn't. Russia didn't announce it.
Right. What was the reaction of the Chassidim from Russia when you heard that Stalin died?
The reaction was very happy.
Happy. Right. Homesick for Lubavitch is brought to you by Yuvla Media, a boutique video production company that I have run for close to 10 years. Today, Yuvla Media works with organizations all around the country, bringing their stories to life in a way that is both meaningful and memorable. Whether it's a video for a milestone dinner, an online fundraiser, or a building campaign, we begin each project with the same question: what does your audience need to know about you to feel more connected to your cause? Once we answer that question, we tailor-make a video that best addresses this need. Over the years, we have built a reputation for top-of-the-line visuals while also being responsive and reliable. As one of our clients put it, a combination of technical excellence and real heart. If you are looking to make a video for an upcoming dinner, fundraiser, or building campaign, please reach out to us to schedule a 15-minute phone call to see if we can make something beautiful together. Email us at hello@yuvlamedia.com. Again, that is hello@yuvlamedia.com. A link can be found in the show notes. And now, back to the show.
Then I was by the Rebbe on Yechidus, like the week after Purim. And supposedly, I wanted to stay there for till Pesach. I don't remember exactly what happened. But anyways, the Rebbe said that I should go. They told me how long is my visa? I had for a week, whatever. They said after Shabbos I shall go back here. Shabbos by the Fabringen, bochur standing on the chair, on the bench, I mean. So the Rebbe said, Rabbi Mochkin soll sagen l'chaim.
On Shabbos, Rebbe told you to say l'chaim.
Yeah. That was, so to say, my first.
This was nach the Yechidus or before the Yechidus?
After the Yechidus. But by the Yechidus, I didn't feel anything special, so to say.
You didn't?
No. I mean, I wrote my zettel and the Rebbe answered whatever he answered. But by the Fabringen, the Rebbe said, "Don't Mochkin so l'chaim."
You're saying you felt a kiruv there. You felt a special kiruv in that moment.
To me, it was a big thing. The Rebbe was thinking in the middle of Fabringen about me.
Right. Right. And but you went back home after that. You didn't stay in the yeshiva.
Of course, not home, but back here in Yeshiva.
Right, Montreal.
Yeshiva in Montreal, yeah.
And your mashpia was Rabbi Greenglass.
Yeah.
What kind of Yid was Rabbi Greenglass? I know there's a book written about him. How do you remember Rabbi Greenglass?
How shall I describe you? He was a happy, good fellow.
He's a happy, good fellow.
He used to make jokes. There's a whole letter from the Prediker Rebbe to him. He wrote to the Rebbe that he is making jokes. And I don't remember exactly what the Rebbe wrote him, but there is something that
it should continue.
No, it was, I think there was, the Rebbe made it kind of to control. I don't remember, don't quote me on that, I don't remember.
But he was
But he's a Chassidischer Yid, a Yid was gedammt lying on Chassidus, and he knew Chassidus.
He's a Freiliche Yid.
More than, not only a Freiliche, he's been a Chassidischer Yid.
Right.
More than a frummer Chassidischer Yid. Not a Chassidischer Yid, but a frummer he was.
Right.
Lange Payas.
So
Polish Payas.
So there was no issue having a mashpia who came from a different...
mashpia, we were kids. I mean, but the Rebbe put a mashpia.
No, I know, because people always talk about the Russians and the Polish that had their problems, and it didn't bother you.
It's had the problems is in light. Could be there are some in light that used to take l'chaim, and so used to, so to say, but it's not chas v'sholem. It wasn't a kind of machlekes here.
Right.
And that's good.
And you took a liking to him.
To us, I didn't have. By me, I didn't have to do with it.
Right. I see. So when did you come to 770?
I never came.
Alzabach also not. You stayed here throughout the Montreal.
Till after the Chasana.
Mamish. Had the Rebbe nicht gelost?
The Rebbe wanted all the whole yeshiva.
All the way through.
All the yeshiva bochurim were here. All the yeshiva bochurim from here.
So you were never allowed to come learn in 770?
Well, we used to come to the
Fabringens.
Yeah, but the Pagras stay a couple of days, but with a control. The Rebbe used to be that the yeshiva had to write a letter to the Rebbe that this and this Talmidim were given permission, and the Maskirot answered that these were accepted, whatever it is, they stayed. It was a control, army control.
Army control. Even when you became a chassan,
When I became a chassan, it's a different world.
You were allowed to go to 770 for a little bit more, or no?
No, I stayed here. When I became a chassan, I, as bochur, the Rebbe told Gringlas that he should give me a class to learn Chassidus with.
To be a teacher.
I was mashpia, I teach, okay. That's number one. Then with the time, it's a whole arichas, but I became involved in the Tzach work.
Also bochur.
Bochur, yeah. We established, Tzach was established in the moment that the Rebbe spoke in New York about Tzach. So the same week was a meeting here in Montreal, and they made a vad and made Tzach, so to say.
When was this? This was when you were here already?
Yeah. This was to Chavei.
Chavei.
Tesvav.
Tesvav.
So this is...
so you're Sachakol 18 years old.
Yeah, but I was in yeshiva then. But soon after, somehow somebody schlepped me in the kosher work, so to say, and me and Rabbi Shvei, Isaac Shvei, became like the backbone of Tzach, I would say. And then was one chof of I went to the Rebbe. I went day before, and I stopped off in Gan Yisroel in Swan Lake. The first Gan Yisroel in Swan Lake.
Right, sure.
I stopped off, and I saw how it works. The whole idea of Gan Yisroel in Russia, and I didn't see it. A camp in Russia.
Swan Lake, this was still when Rabbi Weiss was involved? Or?
Weiss was there, yeah.
Gehos Weiss.
Gehos Weiss.
Yeah, I think when I say there was like a learning director, I think.
Yeah, this year, yeah.
Yeah.
And I came back to Montreal, and I suggested to Tzach that we have to make a camp here.
Similar to the one in Swan Lake.
Yeah. And the Rebbe accepted the idea very much, strongly, so to say, pushed it very hard. So I got involved in the... Before that, in that year, we made a day camp. Tzach made a day camp. But a year after the day camp, we opened camp, so to say. That got involved, also bochur still.
So Montreal camp opened up 1 year after New York?
I think it's 2 years, because they had in Ellenville, I think, a year. Don't remember.
Right.
But they had before. But it was...
2 years.
A year after, when Yorzede was the learning teacher in Swan Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And then Swan Lake moved.
I don't know which one came first. So Swan Lake, Ellenville, and then Parksville. I don't know which one. I don't know which Swan Lake or Ellenville.
After Ellenville.
Swan Lake was after Ellenville, and then after that was Parksville.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my Zayda was a director also in the earlier one, in Swan Lake also.
In Swan Lake, he was the
first year. He was the learning director, and then a year or two after that he took over.
And the year after he became. Then Klaus Weiss wasn't there anymore.
Right, he took it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were two bochurim running Parksville and Montreal. He was running Parksville and you were running Montreal.
Kind of. Competing each other.
Yeah. Who had bigger chayvas? Yeah. So you said that 16-year-olds weren't taken so seriously, but 18-year-olds were taken very seriously.
I don't know if it was taken seriously, but that's the way it happened.
Oh, you were given a very big achrayus, no?
Yes.
Wow. Did you ever think of inviting the Rebbe to come up to Montreal to visit camp? Was that ever in the cards?
Who were thinking to give the Rebbe advice?
No, but
what to do?
He came to New York, no? Or that was his own idea?
He came to New York. It's not even in New York. Of course, it was Mumala Lamata that the Rebbe went. But then...
It was Rebbe's idea to go to camp in New York?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
I think so. But then there was another time that the Rebbe answered, they asked the Rebbe to come. The Rebbe answered, he didn't pay back yet the hours of the first time.
Yeah, I heard of that, yeah.
You go understand what the Rebbe said.
Yeah.
So, but to Bishop invited the Rebbe, who are we?
Right. But did you involve the Rebbe in the details of the camp, like in
What's the Shiloh? Everything was to do with the Rebbe. There was a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Like I say, a year before we started the day camp.
Right.
So, before that, when we made the Meshibah Shabbos, Chanukah and Purim rallies, it was going gradual.
Right. There were a few cities where Tzach was the way that the Chabad operated in the city. You know, Argentina also had a similar thing later on.
Could be.
Buenos Aires.
It could be.
It's a different kind of setup. You have a bunch of Lubavitchers working together on different mitzvahim before the Chabad houses. This was before everybody had their own Chabad house.
Before, the first Chabad house was Shlomo Kunin.
Yeah.
The second one was ours.
Oh, you opened up a Chabad house here also? In Montreal?
Yeah.
And that's the headquarters of Tzach?
At that time, when we opened it. Before that, it was in my basement also.
Tzach. When did you know that you were going to spend your life doing these things?
I didn't figure out. When I went into the Rebbe with my wife to Chosen Kale, before the Chasana, I wrote to the Rebbe, we are ready to go for Shlichus.
Uh-huh.
So the Rebbe answered to Mamshich and the Shlichus in Montreal.
Mamshich sein der Shlichus. Because you were already a bochur. You were.
The Rebbe considered me a Shliach before you.
As a bochur. Uh-huh.
I had letters, Melachte Meleche Shamayim, als bochur.
The Rebbe wrote to you.
Yeah. And, yeah.
So the Rebbe never, in the beginning, the Rebbe didn't appoint you. It just kind of happened. And then
the appointment was that I had a call from Chodakov, that we from Tzach, we wrote to the Rebbe that we need a person to head the work.
Uh-huh. You wanted another shliach to come.
I didn't think that I was still a bochur in yeshiva.
Uh-huh.
So we needed somebody to, so the Chodakov called me up one day and said to me, you asked the Rebbe for us. So he told me, Chodakov was talking like an elderly person. So, he's a matzia, as he's all that. I think she needs the motion.
Right. What kind of man was Rabbi Chodakov?
I can't describe Rabbi Chodakov. Did you ask some people in New York that
I heard a lot about Rabbi Chodakov from Isaiah. I want to know how you...
The Himmel person. I mean,
the Himmel person.
I mean, he wasn't a person for himself. He was bottled to the Rebbe, whatever.
Did any of you feel like you understood him?
Everybody knew that you can't understand him.
You can't understand him?
Not what you can't understand him. That we knew that he's a different person, a different kind of a person.
No, because you have a lot of Elter Chassidim, right? But
it's not that way. He didn't represent Elter Chassid. He was the Rebbe's mouth, so to say, the Rebbe's right hand, or whatever you call it. He didn't represent out on Elter Chassid.
Right. So when he called you up, it was considered to what?
He called me up.
No, but you felt you.
Gosh,
How did you feel? You were a little bit nervous when he called you up.
No, I mean I heard what he said, and I understood what he said. So.
But he could be a stern man. No, he could be sometimes he could be pretty sharp.
Yeah. If you did something wrong.
Right, but the standards were very high. Right? The standards were very, very high. The standards were very high.
His?
Yeah.
He was
I think every shliach I've spoken to who had a yachas to him, they got a rebuke at some point. Or I
spoke with him, but I didn't have no yachas with him.
Right. No, but sometimes everyone I speak to said that he would give a...
Just to when we were in camp, there was 1 year, Rabbi Yankel Shvei was the learning director.
He was also in Tzach, or that's a different Shvei?
Then Tzach was Isaac, Rabbi Shvei, the older brother of Yankel.
Uh-huh. So Isaac was an older brother.
Older brother.
Yankel was in camp.
The youngest.
And he was in camp.
He was still a bochur then, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he had a chush in malari, in
drawing,
painting.
Uh-huh.
So we made for each bunk, together 8 bunks, I think, if I remember correctly. Maybe even less. For each bunk, a certain picture, how you call it, and the bunks were called with special names. some kind of always, and one was Molochim. So one picture was made, Animaimim b'emunah shleima b'yezah Mashiach. He made 12, 13 rounds like this. Most probably you saw the picture, And the 12th one is Animaimim b'emunah shleima b'yezah Mashiach. He made like the Rebbe's face, sitting on a horse. There was the Asicha before then the Rebbe was talking about Oni Berechi Valachameir. So then it was yet before Oni of Ananikov. This was in the first years. So he made a picture with the Rebbe sits on a Chameir, so to say. And the picture underneath is Animam B'emunah shleima b'yezah Mashiach. That was something like a risk.
Yeah.
I was afraid that the Rebbe will... Anyways, I came when for Hopov, I think again, or maybe you be someone, I think it's for Hopov. I brought pictures from all these paintings, and I gave Chodakov to bring it into the Rebbe. I was afraid that would have me on top, like, in those days wasn't yet the whole idea of Mashiach and everything. And here we came with, Mashiach and the Rebbe's picture, imagine.
Right.
It was completely out of...
Was this Tashkent? Around Tashkent?
It was before Tashkent.
Before Tashkent.
No, it was after Tashkent, yes. After Tashkent. Mm-hmm. But Tashkent, most probably that was... Oder Chof Aleph.
Okay. In the early years.
Yeah. So I was afraid. But I gave it to Chodakov to bring it into the Rebbe. We were standing outside, and the Rebbe's window was a little bit open. So the Rebbe was standing, Chodakov was standing, looking down on the table, like to look on it. And I saw a certain smile on the Rebbe's face. But when Chodakov came out, he came out with a smile. He said, "Mit darf das nicht verpassen sein." That's all. Ich habe mehr gehabt, weil ich habe ein gewissen Patschen von ihm.
Where did the idea come from? This was something that Chassidim always used to think of the Rebbe. The Frierdiker Chassidim also spoke this way?
Supposedly, by andere Chassidim, allemaal had men gehouden dat de Rebbe is Moshiach.
But allemaal in alle deures, like in older generations of Lubavitch?
I think Chassidim, when it was the discussion of it, had men gehouden, wer zou zijn, let's say in the tijd of Tzach Tzedek, so wer zijn een Moshiach, niet de Rebbe Tzach Tzedek.
Right.
The same thing is in this later on.
Right.
Who should be...
Right.
But it wasn't in that forum that we have here now. It's exploding.
Right.
But so like I say, that I was afraid that it would have me on top for such a statement, so to say.
Right.
And Baruch Hashem, it went through with a smile.
Uh-huh. Do you remember when the Psukim started, the Yud-based Psukim? You were
I remember, yeah,
Tzach.
but I wasn't there. I was here. We had Rebbe here.
But what did you? I understand. But what did you? What did it mean to you? Did you chap what was going on? Was it like a hemeldike Tzach? How did you understand it?
I didn't think about to rationalize it, so to say. But I do say my opinion, which I once said to bochurim, to kids, bochurim. Mordechai HaTzadik, said, found kids, and they said 3 psukim, and became a whole thing of it. And even since then, halten in den Sogen 3 psukim, Altiru Mipachat Pisne. So the Rebbe himself came down with 12 psukim. How do we have to cherish that?
Right.
Mordechai took it over from the kids. That's what the Rebbe himself, Mordechai himself said it. So we don't understand what it means, like what is behind it. But how Piposhet is the Rebbe wanted the kids to have psukim on their head. I mean,
right.
But
do you remember the first time you said it at a rally? Do you remember what? Do you remember?
I don't bigger.
In Montreal.
When we said it here. Yeah, I remember like Bimer at the rally. Yeah.
You said the top psukim.
I don't remember the first time. The first time the Rebbe said that we didn't have it
in
here.
New York, right?
But the second time, it was already.
When was the second time? The next Lag BaOmer?
I think so. I don't remember now exactly the details.
And
Mashiach we are waiting for.
But what was it? You said it out to Kabbalah Soil.
The Rebbe gave it to you. What's the question?
No, I know. But for example, tefillin, mitzvah tefillin. There's a mitzvah tefillin you have to put on with another yid. You can make sense of it. The psukim. Today, everybody my age, it's part of life. But for you, it's a new thing. What was it like then?
So the Rebbe said to say the psukim. It's a great thing.
You said the psukim.
So like I say, but I looked at that a bit different anyways.
Himmel dike Tzach.
That's for sure.
Right. That's what you mean different. You looked at it as a Himmel dike Tzach.
No, obviously it's a Himmel dike Tzach.
The other miftzayim you also looked at like Himmel dike Zachen. The other miftzayim, tefillin, mezuzah.
Everything what the Rebbe does is a Himmel dike Zach.
Right, no, come on.
But that is activity. That was the part of the Rebbe's work. It's not that Wort of Jerusalem is echt goed zo. That's the tijd van Pasha mit Zaken zijn Iden mit to bring out Torah mitzvahs to the street.
And that was the work of, that's how you understood the work of Tzach. And you understood that was a work of Tzach?
The Rebbe didn't give it specially for Tzach, he gave it for everybody.
So what was the work of Tzach? What was the definition of Tzach?
The fact is that anything what the Rebbe said and gave out was the practical thing. It went through Tzach. Tzach was the people that did it. Those that are not was busy in their business, they didn't do it. I mean, do it in a way of mechatesi, but actively,
right?
It's Tzach brought the Rebbe's boards, the Rebbe's inyonim to the street.
Right. Did you have any special heroes from the Rebbe, from Rabbi Chalikov, about the Mivtzoyim here in Montreal?
I don't remember. Maybe the Rebbe was pushing Mivtzoyim, maybe but not had special heroes. In any case, I don't remember.
This year marks 75 years since Yud Shvat and the first Bosi Lgani. If you're looking for an event that is memorable, meaningful, and affordable, let me recommend This World is a Garden, a film and live concert production created by us here at Yuvla Media, inspired by Bosi Lgani, the first mimer, the Rebbe said. If you're a regular here at HFL, you know that Bosi Lgani is something that we think about and talk about a lot. And in this production, we use the power of cinematic filmmaking and a live concert by a string quartet to bring the beauty of Bosi Lgani to your community and your audience in a way that they've never seen, heard, or experienced it before. The production has already been hosted by Chabad houses around the country and has drawn wonderful reviews. Our package comes with everything that you need to put in the production: the film's original arrangements for string quartet, publicity materials, everything besides the string quartet, which we recommend that you hire locally to save on travel costs. To find out more about this production, please visit thisworldisagarden.com. Again, thisworldisagarden.com. And now, back to the show. If I can ask this question, what surprised you the most? You're here, your Tzach in Montreal, as you said, it's already more than 70 years old.
We had a celebration.
Last year, 2 years ago.
Last year.
70 years.
70 years.
What surprises you looking back? Is there anything that surprises you about the growth of Tzach here in Montreal, Chabad in Montreal?
What do you mean by surprise me?
No, that maybe something happened and something was accomplished that you could never have expected.
I don't know how to describe it, but whatever the Rebbe wanted to be done, we did. I mean, the fact itself that it happened at Chabad house, and for example, like I mentioned, the second Chabad house after Shlichus, to make it a Chabad house was a dream, in other words, but we pushed it through.
Right.
Thanks to Yishugnevish, he got a couple of balabatim that gave the money, the initial money, and we bought the Chabad house.
Right. What was it? Do you remember your father's yachas to the Chabad house? How did he understand it?
Chabad house or Becloud to the Rebbe's activities?
Bechal.
Was I'll tell you a little fact, and then you will understand from that for anything. The Tata was completely devoted to the Rebbe. First of all, there is in the Sefer, if you there is a story with the Cholem, when the Rebbe Rashab with the Prediker Rebbe came to my father.
I don't know the story. What's the story?
That was yet before Topshin Yud Aleph.
So noch Yud Shvat.
After Yud Shvat. But I don't exactly remember when it was, if it was in the summertime or thereafter Rosh Hashanah. But to me, about the story you will hear, so the Rebbe...
And you're in Benoit at this time, right? You're in Benoit at this time, or Paris.
In 7, not in Benoit, in Paris, but
Paris.
One of the stations of Chabad, of Anash,
in
was
Paris.
In Sever.
Right.
It's called. So, my father used to verbring every Shabbos. Not Davke Shabbos from Vorchem.
Every Shabbos.
It was the Shabbos, the Anash was lived there. After davening, they used to sit down for bring, and better after a couple of hours or whatever it is, they used to go up home in the same building. Used to go up to the Shabbos. But after, usually, they used to bring after davening. My father was the Fabringer. A lot of students used to come back from other places.
Lubavitchers or different?
Lubavitchers, from ours, to come to here in Father's Fabringer. It's not important here. So
he was a Talmud from Lubavitch, right? Or from Rostov?
Yeah,
Lubavitch. Who was his mashpia? Greinem.
Anyways, what's important is now is that he verbringt about to give himself over to the Rebbe. It was yet before Yud Shvat of Yud Aleph.
So it's after the Friedrich Rebbe's Stalkos, before Yud Shvat of Yud Aleph.
Yeah. So he verbringt, as usual, he used to take, my father used to take mashpia a lot, and he was a good head. He didn't lose himself with taking mashpia. Anyways, but after he finished, he verbringt, I don't know if he fell asleep very verbringt or he went home and lay down. Anyways, he saw that he came the prayer, the Rebbe Rashab, when the prayer Dike Rebbe came to him and told him, Peretz, im dir makir teve for deine Rede.
Really?
He saw the Rebbe Rashab said it. The Rebbe Rashab was dressed in Shabbos Dike Kleider.
Huh.
Shabbos Dike Kapote, in other words.
And he remembered the Rebbe Rashab from Lubavitch.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, and just to show you the stand of my father.
Right.
So this was then. Obviously, it wasn't an open way for him. But I remember another incident that Sukkahs were sitting in the Sukkah. Also, again, it was a public Sukkah. Everybody that lived, all the families that lived in that building, they ate sukkahs in one general sukkah. So he gave it verbringt, and so he said unto verbringt, my father said, that I remember, nu mit gechasmet, aksavis kashrus, so the Rebbe was gesund, the way they didn't use that expression. Usual, but verbringen is we started to verbringen with the Rebbe was gesund. Before Topshin Yud.
Right, before the Fidik Rebbe passed away, right?
Before Topshin Yud, yeah.
Right.
And then after Topshin Yud, he couldn't start with it. Now, can find it, start the Rebbe was gesund. But then it wasn't.
Right.
But after Rosh Hashanah, after in Sukkot, he said, "Nu mitok gechas mitak savis kashrus." The Rebbe was gesund. I remember someone who was kind of didn't accept it, not important. But they take a bench who made the whole savis kashrus before Topshin Yud Aleph in Chedesh Elul, the bench. Remo's father.
Yeah. My Zayda told me many times, I'm forgetting the Lashon, but he showed me, I think, once a letter. He got a letter from your father in the years that he was in 7th. He had a very...
He got a letter from my father.
Yeah, he was very close to your father. When your father would come to 770, he would spend a lot of...
Yeah.
And your father once sent him a letter. I think my grandfather showed it to me.
In the book.
Oh, the letter's in the book.
In the book, there is printed
the letter that he sent to my Zayda.
Yeah, but in the book, there is no name. Zayda asked me not to leave.
He shared the letter with you.
He sent me the letter. And
I think he showed it to me once. It's a beautiful letter, and that your father wrote telling him, the young generation, that they should believe in themselves.
Yeah, whatever.
No,
believe in themselves. No,
not themselves.
The Rebbe, my father writes him like that. This generation has more than the previous,
right.
In such a form, kind of. But it's a printed one. It's not.
Yeah. No, but it's interesting because I bring it up only because your father and also my Eltazayda, and there were others, they had been through this before also. The Rebbe Rashab passed away, and the Fidik Rebbe, and it didn't make a difference to them, right? They believed that it had to continue.
That's no question.
But some people had a harder time with it, I think.
That it has to continue, first of all, by the Frierdiker Rebbe is no wonder because the Frierdiker Rebbe was involved in running the yeshiva, the bochur, right. Everything.
And it was also the Rebbe Zun.
Yeah, but the Rebbe was kind of, he didn't expose himself.
Quiet, yeah. And the son-in-law. And also an Eidim,
and then there was the Rashag, the Rebbe, there was a lot of problems. And there the Rebbe was Abba Yochid.
Right.
Means no question. But those that were smart understood. I mean, that is no one else besides the Rebbe to continue.
Right. So your father really believed in the younger generation that they would continue and be stronger. And,
yeah, Baruch Hashem.
And so he he when he saw the pu'ulas and the Beis Chabad and these things, he had nachas.
What you can see in the book, you can have a feeling the way he looked on the younger generation.
He had nachas from the pu'ulas.
Yeah, no question.
Did he ever tell you you're going too far, too fast?
What does it mean going too fast?
No, my Zayda told me that a few times his father was a little bit nervous that he would, when he bought the new property for Gan Yisrael, he told me his father was nervous that he's taking too much on. He
will not be able to make it.
Yeah.
My father, he never stopped of anything what we did. Like, wasn't afraid for. I don't believe that benches, so to say, your grandfather, shall hold back a piula.
No, he didn't hold back. But he was, as a father, he was concerned that you're buying a property that you won't be able to pay for, or that.
Maybe that's 2 and 2 is 4. I mean, he was afraid, could be, but this is not.
Right.
Well, your father, your Zayda bench, in other words, opened in London. No, he also was behind, more than his capacity.
Yeah. He had a lot of chayvus too, no question. Yeah. So what's your message to? You said you don't want to fakif anything, but what's your take? What's your message? Your father had a message for the next generation. What's your message for the next generation?
I don't give no message.
You don't give messages. You just do. You just do.
Message.
You just do.
Mashiach now. That's it.
Mashiach now. Mashiach now.
There's no 2 ways here.
Right. So can I ask you a question then? How did you understand your Shlichus in Tzach in Montreal after Gimel Tammuz? Was it difficult to figure out what? Because in the beginning people seemed to understand that we're on Shlichus and we're going to bring Mashiach and everything's going to be figured out. After Gimel Tammuz, was it difficult for you to?
We are continuing the Rebbe's work. That's it.
Simple.
As simple as possible. There was no any half minute of something else.
Right.
Don't forget, Montreal is one city. We have over 40 Chabad houses. Around over 80 shluchim. Some have more, some have individually, but there is about 80 people. Some are direct shluchim, some are involved. And Baruch Hashem, there is one thing, Baruch Hashem, that we have no problems with machlekes, with competition with us.
What's the secret for that? It didn't just happen on its own.
I don't know what to tell you.
Why do you think you managed to build a team of people who get along?
First of all, maybe I tried to take Chatila Shluchim that are devoted to the Rebbe's inyan more than those Shluchim that are looking for a job. A person which is devoted to the Rebbe's inyan, so number one. And the way the system was, not to put one on top of the other.
Uh-huh.
So, if somebody wanted to come to in a certain way, we checked if it will not harm the other shliach, it will not be. More or less, it was with a control.
Mm-hmm.
And more or less, the shluchim didn't work like a personal thing. Shluchim, I don't say that everybody is ausgetan from Welt. I mean, they have no eigene pnies, but more or less, it was understood from the person that Shlichus is devotion to the Rebbe.
Well, I think from talking to you, we can say that I can see where they get it from. I can see where they get it from.
I know.
You're not taking any credit either. So, but whatever the case is, it's beautiful to see it's beautiful to hear your story and to see what you've accomplished or Lubavitch has accomplished.
It's not that
But Lubavitch, that's what I meant. Lubavitch, Montreal has accomplished. It sounds like you had something to do with it.
I don't know if you have an idea more or less from other Chabad houses in Montreal, which some are small, some are...
Some I do, yes. I've seen that.
The big farm, so to say.
I know some of them, yeah. I've seen some of them. It's beautiful. I even had, a few years ago, I had on this podcast, I had Rabbi Nuch from the MTC, which is nearby. And I know some other shluchim here also. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see, and it's beautiful to hear the story of how it started. It's a beautiful story. It started as a bochur in the yeshiva, doing pulis.
And that we are mechotonim, you know. You
sang with Nassen's daughter.
Yeah.
Meir Shem Tov, yeah. Yeah, we can send the regards on the podcast to Meir if he's listening. Thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for sharing your story, and it's beautiful to see how the story developed. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Hatzlocha Rabba in the work.
The music for this podcast comes from the album Repentance Doors by Oren Sor Nadav Bachar and is used with their permission.